What's going on, No Horsing Around family? Welcome back to the No Horsing Around podcast. One of two dudes, Zach Boyd, on here. Going to talk a little bit about Deshaun Watson today. Very, very unlikely that Deshaun Watson would ever end up in Indianapolis. An in-division trade would be unprecedented. But just thought it would be a fun one. It's Sunday, March Madness. We're going to fill our brackets out this evening, but we're also talking about free agency. It's 24 hours before that legal tampering period comes to fruition, and hearing that the Deshaun Watson package would be, multiple picks, 5 to 6 picks, and possibly even a player or two. I don't know if the Indianapolis Colts would be willing to give up that type of, capital. Ballard in the past has not been willing to give up that type of capital. But he's a rare guy. And I think this is one of those weird instances, guys, where this has to go through the owner first, right? Like if your owner doesn't sign off on this situation with which, Deshaun Watson has been dealing with for a whole year, missed the whole season. And then there's a dynamic. Does Watson want to get more money? With all of this money since he signed his contract, with all of these quarterbacks getting paid so much more since then, would he try to bargain and say, hey, I'm not going to waive my no trade clause unless you sign me a fresh deal? In that instance, that makes it much harder because you haven't seen him play in a year. You don't know where he's at physically, mentally. You expect him to be a very good quarterback still for a very long time, but you'd like to see it at least for a year. I don't know. What do you think? Multiple firsts, multiple seconds, multiple thirds and fourths, even a player thrown in there. Where do you think Deshaun Watson's going to go? If he doesn't go to the AFC, there's rumblings of an NFC team that's really, high on him. Seattle always makes sense because they're just so aggressive. And when they lock in on something, they usually, they don't stop until they come away with their guy. And how crazy would that be to get rid of Russell Wilson and then go get a younger version to play out there, in Seattle? I mean, my gosh, what a big move. If they could somehow use some of that, draft package, get Watson and still be able to even keep a pick or two, in their back pocket to help build around that. Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf with Deshaun Watson, that could be scary for sure. But I'm just interested right now in you guys. Do you guys think that we would trade for Deshaun Watson? How much would it take? What would you be willing to give up? Are you a hard no? You say, hey, I don't think he's a great person. I don't think he's a good culture fit. I don't want him in Indy. Or B, I'm all in. All chips in. This is that all chips in move that no one would have ever expected the Indianapolis Colts to be involved in. Where are you at? If you're not with Deshaun Watson, who's your front runner? Words of, you've heard Gardner Minshew, you've heard Kirk Cousins, you've heard Derek Carr, you've heard all of these rumors, but there's no real substantial, there's been no heavy momentum towards any one of those guys. I think it's just more of players, teams, GMs doing their diligence, just saying, hey, what do you got here? What are you thinking to go out and get someone like this? It'll be interesting, but what if Chris Ballard, tricks us all and just drafts a quarterback and says, you know what, this was my plan all along. I wanted to go out and get a quarterback and have a rookie guy and see what we could do with that and build around them. Or is there going to be a free agent that you like? I mean, is there one that you're targeting right now? Who are you targeting less than 24 hours before that legal tampering period opens? Deshaun Watson, obviously he's free of all of his charges. He's ready to be traded. Looks like they're trying to do things pretty aggressively. And I would expect something to happen this week with Deshaun Watson. I mean, why not, right? Like, why you've got all this momentum and all these teams in a bidding war. Go for it. So, yeah. Deshaun Watson, light us up in the comments. If you haven't subscribed and joined the family, we'd ask you to take your time, join the family, use your voice. This is for you guys. And thank you so much to all the people who join, comment. We love hearing the comments. We love getting a good conversation. Even if you don't agree with Steven and I, we enjoy that part of this podcast for sure. Until the next time, peace.